Hey everyone, Combo here, back with another Empires and Puzzles video, and today we are in day 5 of the 5-star air support raid tournament with all colors. I'm going to feature my 5 raid flags with commentary. I am 19-1 on the week right now, and our defense has a B rating now. We actually started off with a B, went to an A, and then now back to a B rating. As you can see on my defense, I've got Ceres, Naeem, Duelfiller, Fafnir, and Sable. Today's featured hero is going to be Fafnir indeed. I actually just finished getting him up to level 90. I've been using him at level 85, and he's been a lot of fun to use. Today, first, we are going to go up against a Gurik tank team, so we're definitely going to bring in Damon, and then probably a couple other reds and greens. I'll probably stick to a 3-2 setup, might bring in Ceres. And then I decided to bring in Bramble as another healer. For the dragon that we're going to use today, for the featured one with Fafnir, it's going to be Marmora. I don't have any fighter dragons, so Marmora will be able to increase the attack by 25, shield by 20, and health by 20 for all of my nature heroes that I use together with Fafnir and anybody else like Bramble right now. Let's see how this first flag here today goes. Pretty good board to start for greens. I am going to start off with the greens horizontally on the right. It does work better if I can get reds early on to start off with this type of team, because I need Damon to make it so that Gurik cannot cast that Slime Revive shenanigan. Let's match these 3 yellows vertically. That's actually going to set up a green diamond for me the next turn. And let's match that green diamond. Alright, so we've got Fafnir right now. I'm going to use Fafnir on the 3 in the middle here. Unfortunately, I've gotten no reds. Let's match these purples right up the middle up against Gurik. It's going to force him to go off, but that's fine. We did get a nice cascade of reds and that green diamond to go off, so we're going to get Bramble, who would have gotten anyway. Fafnir had a negative mana ailment, unfortunately, so that's why Fafnir didn't get his special, which just got turned into a mana increase generation. Let's use Bramble to heal and cleanse. Actually, I'm going to wait to use Bramble until after Duelfiller goes off. Actually, I've got my dragon I can use to cleanse me once Duelfiller goes off, which is actually going to be this turn right now, because I'm going to match these 3 reds up against Duelfiller. And we got a cascade of reds as well, which is going to turn Duelfiller into a Slime Revive. So interesting that Duelfiller's passive for the Molten Core did not go off that turn, because even when somebody is a painting, the Molten Core goes off, I believe. So interesting there. But anyway, I am going to use Ceres on Riverfang on the left. Or do I want to match some tiles first so that it definitely hits more people? I think I want to do that. Let's match... Try and do something that doesn't create a cascade to set either one of them off. Also, let's match the 3 purples vertically up against Gurik. Oh no, don't set Gurik off again. Oh my god, are you kidding me? At least it didn't set off the Riverfangs. Alright, let's use Ceres now up against this Riverfang. See who that travels to. And it did go to the one on the left, but the Mana Shield blocked the silence, but that's okay. Let's use Damon on this one over here on the left. And I'm going to use Hathor I'm still going to hold on to my dragon because I don't really need them at this point right now. Let's match these 3 greens and blues so that I can get Fafnir. And we're going to attack the 3 of the left with Fafnir. How many more turns do they have this Slime Revive for? 2 more turns. And I think I'm going to wait to use Fafnir. Let's match the 3 yellows up against Duelfler. It's going to set her off, but that's okay. And then let's match these 3 yellows up against Riverfang. What's he going to do to me? Dispels Buster the target nearby enemies, deals 40% damage to 3. Then there's the water damage, and the target nearby enemies take lasting 50% increased damage from status of ailment. So I've got cleansers though, so I'm not worried about that. Let's just match these 3 yellows up against him. Trying to make it so that that Slime Revive wore off, which it now is. Now I can use Fafnir on the 3 on the left. And then let's match these 3 reds up the middle. How many more turns do you have silence for? Only 1 more turn. I'm going to need a little bit more mana. Damn. Timer's already going off. I don't think I can get Daemon activated before Guruk goes off again. That's unfortunate. Thinking about hitting the blue diamond to see if I can get something crazy to happen, but I don't think I can, really. Let's match the 3 reds vertically up against Guruk. Yeah. Needed a little bit more mana, unfortunately. Alright, let's move this battle along. I'm going to use Bramble so I can get that increased mana in a couple turns. Of course, I'm silenced now for a couple people. Let's use Marmora to heal me and cleanse me. We use Hathor to block some ailments. Let's hit this blue diamond to do some tile dumping. I'm going to use Daemon on Guruk so he cannot extend the Slime Revive. Let's use Cerus on Duelfler. Alright, almost everybody is silenced. Awesome. Now we just need to do some tile dumping, get my specials back. That should give me Fafnir. Cool. How many more turns do they have the Slime Revive for? 2 more turns. Okay. I am going to use Fafnir right now. I probably should have waited because the Arctic Core also might kill some people. Let's match these 3 yellows over here. And then I'm going to ghost the 3 greens on the left. Alright, Slime Revive is gone. This is probably going to kill Guruk. Awesome. Okay, he's dead. Let's heal with Bramble now. Now we need to get this battle moving. Let's use Hathor to heal. And then I'm not gonna match the 3 reds. No, I didn't want to, yeah. Hopefully he doesn't hit Daemon or Cerus or Fafnir with the main part. Of course he hits Cerus. And everybody stay alive, please. I have the ailment immunity. I completely forgot about that too. Okay. Let's use Cerus on, or Daemon on Cerus. Use Hathor. Waiting to use Cerus to until people have more mana. Oh no, don't set off. Okay, Cerus is dead. Cool. Let's use Marmora to cleanse and heal. Let's use Bramble. I'm gonna wait one more turn to use Saris. I could use Fafnir though. Let's use Fafnir right now. Now I can use Saris. Alright. Dueler Filler's dead. We should be okay now. We do have to get this battle moving though. We've only got one of the River Fangs left. And I'm about to get Saris, which should kill a River Fang. Alright, actually, River Fang died from the 738 Arctic core damage from Fafnir. Alright, we are 1 for 1 right now. Next up, we've got another Gurik tank team. So I am probably going to keep the same team. I actually do want to move Fafnir, though, because any hit 3 specials, I want Fafnir to get hit, but I don't want them to die. But the more they get hit, the more that Arctic core gets charged. So let's bring this team. I'm probably going to try to kill off Sable quickly if we can to get rid of their Reviver. Let's start off with the 3 reds and yellows on the left. I really would like to get Daemon activated before Gurik goes off. If I can get my 6 reds, then we'll be in good, okay shape. Give me another red on the bottom. Perfect. Let's match these up against Lee Q. I don't want to set him off either, though. Let's just match the 3 reds horizontally. I don't think those 2 tiles are going to set off Gurik. Perfect. Now let's use Daemon on Gurik. Now, let's match these 3 reds horizontally up against him. That's going to give me Saris and Hathor, and we should be able to kill Gurik before he gets activated. I am going to match these 3 yellows horizontally. Yeah. Trying to get away his mana increase a little bit more before I use Saris. But Sable's about to go off. So let's use Saris on Sable, and hopefully that carries over to... Actually, I'm more concerned about Lee Q at this point right now. I'm hoping it goes to Sable. It did go to Sable, but she blocked it with her mana shield. Everybody else is silenced, though. And I am going to match these 3 purples horizontally so I can match some greens next turn. Or we could get a cascade of greens. I'll take that too, and a nice cascade of reds. It's going to give me Daemon as well. Let's use Fafnir on the 3 in the middle. Gurik is dead. He's going to get revived unless if I kill anybody else. Let's use Bramble so I can get some increased mana. And then I want to kill or do some damage to Sung Jiang. And then I'm going to match the 3 yellows vertically up against Sung Jiang. Hoping I get a green somewhere in the middle. And we did. Awesome. And a cascade of greens, so that's going to kill Sung Jiang. Also cool. We've got Fafnir again. I've also got my dragon. I'm going to hold on to them, though, in case if I need to cleanse. Let's hit Lee Q with Fafnir. Fafnir's dead. Let's ghost these 3 red tiles. That's going to give me all 3 of my red specials. So even when Sable takes somebody out right now or revives somebody this next turn, we should be in okay shape. I'm going to match these yellows and greens over here so I can get Bramble back. Gurik came back and used his special right away before I could do anything. That's annoying. Alright, let's use Saris on Saris. I'm going to wait to use any specials, especially Daemon. Let's match these 3 greens up against Sable. Let's cleanse with our dragon. Gonna match these blues on the bottom right, although Saris just got his special back. He got cleansed. Probably from the dragon. Let's use Daemon on him. This is not what I really wanted to do, but I don't want anybody to get silenced. Let's use Fafnir and kill him so he can't reduce or give me any wither effects. He's going to turn into a slime. Let's use Hathor. I could have used her to block the effects also. Sable's going to revive somebody soon. Let's match these blues up against Saris. Give me a red. I feel like I misplayed this, and especially with using Daemon. Could have just used Hathor to block the silence effect and saved and held on to Daemon. I'm going to hold on to Bramble, because Saris is about to go off and I want to get cleansed. Song Jiang is going off. I've got the ailment muted anyway, I don't even need the cleanser. But let's use Bramble now so I can get some mana in a couple turns. Let's match these 3 purples to set off the cascade of reds, and I can match some greens next turn. Let's match these reds first on the bottom before they get separated, though. I am going to use Daemon on Sable. They've got the Slime Revive for 4 more turns. I don't want them continuing to revive people, but I also don't want Gurik to continue to give the Slime Revive. Let's use that on Sable and match these 3 greens. I should be able to kill Sable. They're going to go into the Ghost form, or the Slime Revive shenanigan, but at least they can't revive another person. Let's use Saris on Gurik. Hopefully he gets silenced. Awesome. So I'm glad the Mana Shield didn't block it. Now, let's match these green tiles over here. Or purples into greens. Let's use Fafnir on the 3 on the left. How many more turns do I have the Slime Revive for? 2 more turns. Yeah. Let's match these yellows and blues over here. Let's match these 3 greens on the bottom here. I don't want to kill Gurik. Actually, you know what? Let's match the 3 yellows up against Sable. And then I can match the 3 greens up the middle, which I think will kill Gurik. And give me Bramble. Sable's dead. Awesome. Okay, cool. Now things are going to get easier. Let's match these 3 reds. Let's match the 4 purples, actually, first. That's going to set a cascade of 4 reds. And it killed Song Jiang. Awesome. Ugh. Wish I had my dragon. That's unfortunate. Let's do this. I need some green tiles. Let's match this purple diamond. And then I'm going to ghost those greens. Just kidding. We've got a cascade of greens. That's going to give me Bramble to cleanse. I could have used my dragon also, but either way. Now let's use Fafnir and Daemon and Saris. And just kidding. Daemon killed Saris, and that was a longer battle again, but I will take it. We are 2 for 2 now. Next up, we are going to go up against a Fergus tank team. I haven't seen Ferg in a raid tournament and tank in quite some time, but Let's go up against him. I'm going to bring in some Woodland Fawns, and I've already got Bramble. Let's keep in Fafnir there. Then I want to bring in probably Peregrine. And then I'm going to bring in a couple blues. I'm going to bring in Oni Wakamaru so that I can try to get him going so that only he is affected by Fergus, so that Fafnir doesn't get affected. And then let's bring in another blue that's going to resist. Let's bring in Ascian. And let's go into battle with this. They've also got Sable as a reviver as well. Holy Greens Batman. Okay. I think I'm going to start off with the 4 greens. It's going to set a cascade of greens directly underneath it. But which way do I want to do? Because I have a couple options. Let's go this way. It's going to make it so I can match some blues in the middle next turn. Just kidding. Forgot about the cascade of greens that was going to happen. And another cascade of greens. Kill Fergie Verg. Okay, we're actually going to be able to kill him right away. And obviously we're going to attack the 3 on the right over here. Let's use Bramble first so that I can get my mana in a couple turns. And then I'm going to use Fafnir next. And then Peregrine after. Fafnir first because of that increased damage, which I may have forgotten to do once or twice in previous battles. Sable's already dead. This battle's going to go quick. Much quicker than the last couple. And let's match these 4 blues. That's going to give me Oni Wakamaru because he gets his special in just 5 tiles. I don't want to hit Rosalind. I want to see if we can kill her without using any tiles. Although, I think I might have to. I don't want any potential cascades going off. So let's hit the Green Dragon. She's got 34 health left. Yeah, so that Green Dragon would definitely kill her. Now, how many more turns does Sartana have the dodge for? 2 more turns. Sartana's going to go off, but that's fine. Oni Wakamaru is still alive. Let's use Fafnir first, of course, and then Ascian, and then Peregrine. Get this Green Dragon. Let's hit this, or match these 3 blues. That's going to give me Ascian again, and this should end the battle, I think. Maybe not. My Ascian's only single limit broken, so not as much damage. Alright, that Green Cascade will definitely give me my specials, and let's use Fafnir to kill off Sartana, who's got the extra damage from special skills, although it does not affect the Arctic whatever damage that Fafnir has. Alright, 3 for 3 so far. Next up, we are going to have a Dueler Fuller tank team. Next up, we've got this Dueler Fuller tank team. They've also got Chitrangada, Goldtrip, Sung Jing, and Fafnir. So I am going to mix up this team a little bit here. Let's take out these guys. And I'm going to bring in a couple Holy Heroes. Definitely Satin Pimentor because I'm going to want that priority Dispeller. And let's also bring in a Holy Healer, maybe? Who do they have for attackers here? Do any of them bypass defensive buffs? No. Song Jiang definitely does not, neither does Fafnir. So let's actually bring in Sludgus. And then I'm going to bring in maybe 1 more yellow. I have another attacking yellow I like. I do have Shimmer Scale. And Toon Leonidas I could bring in. I think I'm going to bring in a couple other greens instead. Let's see who I've got for greens. Trying to stick to my 3-2 setup here. I could bring in Bonzo, which will speed up Fafner and get them to 7 tiles instead of 8. So let's do that, and then I'll bring in Fungustine for another healer. Yeah, feeling good about this team. Okay, let's go into battle with this. I'm going to start off with the purples and greens on the right. That's going to move up that yellow tile so I can match 4 yellows the next turn. And got some options about how I can match this. I think I'm going to match them horizontally. That's going to make it so I can match 3 yellows the following turn. Over on the right. Probably should have matched the greens before I did that. Before they got separated like that. And that's a bad move on my part. Let's match these 3 blues up against Duel Fleur. Unfortunately, she is going to go off before I can get any specials, but that's okay. Let's use Satin Pimenter first to do some dispelling, and obviously I'm going to focus on the left with the Reviver over there, and then let's wait a turn to use Sludges. Actually, no, I want to use Sludges to get rid of the Molten Core on everybody else except her. Now, can I create any cascades? Yes, I have these purples I can cascade up against with these reds. It's going to give me some yellows I can match next turn. Cool. I would love to get some greens, though. Actually, let's match this blue diamond so I can do some tile dumping. And I think I'm going to hit the blue diamond now. Sung Jing's going to be going off. Yeah, let's hit the blue diamond. I don't love my options here, but I need some greens, and we really didn't get it. Sludges is dead. That's not ideal. Let's match these 3 yellows over here on the left. I did feel good about this team. We're going to need some green tiles to make anything happen here. Let's match these 3 greens up against Gold Drip. Gonna match these 3 reds up top, which is gonna set up that cascade of blues underneath. Give me a green. Thank you. Let's match these blues to set up the cascade of greens. It's gonna give me Fungustine, Fafner, and Bonzo. Nice cascade. And Duel Filler is dead. That was a nice cascade. Don't kill anybody, please. Okay, let's use Fungustine to heal first. And then I'm going to use my dragon to cleanse the shenanigans I've got. And then I actually should have used that first, because Fungustine had greed on him and I didn't even realize it. That was stupid of me. Alright. I am going to use Bonzo first to see if I can attack 3 with Fafner and Satin Pimenter. And we are going to be able to. Cool. We're going to attack these 3 over here. Let's use Fafner first, of course, for the increased damage. And then I'm going to use Satin Pimenter. And we might be able to kill Fafner with these tiles next. Sung Jiang is dead. I think I can kill Fafner with these green tiles. Hopefully they don't revive. They didn't die, but they did die from the curse damage. Awesome. Okay. We might be able to salvage this battle. I am going to match these purple tiles so that I can ghost the green tiles next turn. Really hoping Chitrangada does not revive anybody. They do have the curse damage. Hopefully they don't revive again. Yes. All right. We're going to be okay. Should have matched the 3 reds horizontally. Let's heal with Fungustine. Although it's only going to go to Satin Pimenter. They are the ones with the higher or less damage. And Goldrip's about to die anyway, so we should be okay. Let's match these 3 yellows so I can get my special soon, hopefully. Actually, we should be able to kill Goldrip with these green tiles. Awesome. All right, I wasn't sure how that battle was going, but once Bonzo rearranged everybody and I got those specials off for Fafnir and Satin Pimenter, that made a huge difference. All right, we've got 1 flag left, and we're going to go up against a Gwendolyn tank team. So Gwendolyn is extremely annoying once they get going, so I am going to bring in Damon to make it so that she cannot cast any status effects. And let's take out our yellows here since we're going up against a holy tank. I'm going to bring in a couple dark heroes. Let's bring in Toon Sartana, and I'm going to bring in Dual Filler as well, actually. Dual Filler and Fafnir go really well together because of the Molten Core and the Molten or Arctic Core combining together, and Fafnir giving 30% more damage to 3 enemies. So we're going to go with a 2-2-1 setup here. I think I'll bring in one other green. Who else do they have up front? Now let's bring in just... actually, you know what? I want to use Bonzo again. That was actually kind of fun. I don't use him enough. I recently double limit broke him and haven't used him a ton. So let's go into battle with this. Probably not going to get our 6 reds to use on Gwendolyn, but we do have a ton of purple tiles. And she does have the, what's it called? Revive, Resurrection, Shenanigan, Ether Power. But I should be able to dispel that with Sartana's tile matching. I'm going to match the 3 purples on the top right first before those get separated, because if I match the greens up the middle, then it's going to take away that 1 purple tile that I need to match with them. Now I'm going to match the 3 purples, I think. Or 3 greens, I mean. You know what? I'm going to match the 3 blues up against Domi Ventus, so I can match the greens next turn. Just kidding, we could do that. And I was hoping to get a purple tile underneath to get a diamond, and we got a crazy cascade of purples. That was cool. Okay. Now, we're going to be able to kill Gwendolyn without using Sartana, and they are Druid class, so I don't have to worry about them reviving. Let's use Dual Filler to heal and to get the Firestorm Ward. I'm going to use Sartana on Astrid, so I don't have to deal with her reviving people. And then let's match these 3 green tiles. That should kill Gwendolyn. Nope. Only got 1 green here. Oh, no. Actually, that purple cascade definitely helped me. I'm not going to complain about that. All right. So we've got Damon. I'd like to get Fafnir first. So let's use Fafnir, or match these 3 tiles so I can use Fafnir and Bonzo. I'm going to rearrange the formation again so that I can try to get 3 enemies together, and we still have the middle unoccupied. All right, let's use Fafnir on the right over here. And then what do I want to do next? How much is the Arctic Core damage that they're going to get? That is some small print. 396, okay. I don't need to deal any damage to them. Let's hit the Mimic with Damon, and we should be able to kill the Mimic with these green tiles. Cool. Medea's dead. Let's use our dragon here. Match some tiles over here, and we're going to be able to kill Domi with Sartana, more than likely. And that is the battle. All right, so we went 5-0 today. We are 24-1 on the week. Again, defense has a B rating last I checked. Yeah, we lost a few battles. We started off with a B, went to an A for a few days, and back down to a B right now. On the leaderboard, I'm ranked 308 with that 24-1 ranking on offense. I didn't really specify or look at the extra increased damage that the 3 enemies were getting from Fafnir's special, but you could definitely see the damage from her special and then the Arctic Core damage that enemies got each turn is a ton. So she does 3, or rather, let's actually take a look at her card. I didn't take a look at it earlier, or his rather, I'm sorry. He's fast mana speed, attacks the target and nearby enemies with the Frostfall Strike, dealing up to 2100 damage, deals 40% more damage if the target is of the fire element. This special skill never misses targets. All damage the target and nearby enemies receive is increased by plus 35% for 3 turns, and the target and nearby enemies reflect status effect buffs to a random character on the opposing team for 3 turns, but that Molten or Arctic Core goes to the entire team, and that is up to, what's it say here, 493 frost damage. It's actually higher because this is without the troop, so when we add that legendary troop, it adds even more attack, which increases the Arctic Core, plus there's that 30% damage or 35% extra damage to 3. So that's one of the reasons why Fafnir is so useful and so critical right now, especially if you combine Fafnir with a hero that has Molten Core, and if you give both of those ailments to an enemy, it is very hard to overcome both of those combined. Let me know how your 5-star air support raid tournament went, and that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy it or found it helpful, and if you did, hit that like button, make sure you're subbed to my channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.